it's a hurtful feeling knowing that we had the season that we had, and I really didn't get an opportunity to play for my full potential that I wanted to. But like I said, everything happens for a reason, and it's just one of the hardest things I have to do. To sit out and watch my brothers compete against a great Louisville team that's coming up.
So there it is, Leonard Fournette, as we continue the whip around. B-Mac will not play in the Citrus Bowl, and I like his honesty. Hey, I'm going to get ready for the NFL draft. I have got a lingering injury, so I'm not going to act like maybe I could go, you know what, I'm going to sit it out. Because we see Leonard Fournette, probably going to be the first running back taken. Do this. Will this be a trend? And more top-tier prospects say, you know what, I'm not going to play in that bowl game if there's a chance that I could get hurt.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this spread. Now, most importantly, you have to get the okay from the university, and most importantly also, the coaching staff. So clearly, Coach Orgeron gave Leonard Fournette the option. I applaud the staff for doing so, because time and time again, so many players, big-time prospects that can be top 10, top 15 picks, they get hurt.
Yep.
And that could hurt their chances of being a higher drafted guy, a la Jalen Smith from a year ago with Notre Dame, playing in the Fiesta Bowl, tearing his knee up, cost him millions of dollars. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this, and I understand college football fans. They're going to say these guys are selfish. They only care about themselves. Oh, really? So for the individuals that say that or may feel that, if something happens, a la Jalen Smith, are you going to be the one that extends their shoulder for them to cry on when an injury takes place? Are you going to be the one to encourage them, motivate them, and tell them that everything's going to be okay? No, you're not. Guess what? You're going to be cheering for another guy that's wearing that exact number that player wore the year before, and totally forgetting about the Jalen Smiths of the world or the Marcus Lattimores of the world. So if this is a guy that we all know can be a top 15, can change his generational, when it comes his generational from the standpoint wealth.
Oh boy.
You got to take it. What that one game is not going to make or break the university.
Ask Frank Gore. I go back to his days in Miami when he had the knee. We've seen guys have gotten hurt, and Gore came back, obviously, his ACL. But we've seen guys that risk it, and they don't all come back. Adrian Peterson has, some of these guys. But it is dangerous, and all of a sudden, you are risking your future employment and certainly your finances if you play in that game. Very quickly, Tim Doyle asked me a question and said you'd be the perfect person to ask because you love the NBA as well. They chuck it around the NFL now. The game has clearly changed in the last couple decades, right? Offensive driven, throw it around 40 times if you have to. NBA with all the threes. Is that NFL driven? Are you seeing a parallel between opening up and extending the offenses in the NBA like they did the NFL?
No question. I see a comparison from what the NFL has transitioned to as a passing league. Quarterbacks taking 40 attempts or so per game. Yes, the NBA is starting to transition to that far as jump shooting, three-point shooting. But one thing I believe, I'm old-fashioned, the same way you see NFL teams that are pass-oriented first, that's the first and only priority. That only works in regular season football. Because when you're playing good on good, you need to have a balanced attack. Look at most recent Super Bowl winners. They did not win that Super Bowl throwing for 45 attempts per game.
Defense.
And the same can be said for basketball. It looks extremely good in regular season play. But when you're playing good on good, you have to have more than just a jump shooting team. Because what happens when that shot is not falling?
And Cleveland last year when they came back, what was the signature play? LeBron's rundown on the block.
Exactly. Cleveland
was
able to beat Golden State at their own game, but they also had the inside game also.